Hi everyone, welcome back. As you can see, we got Cruella here, and because we're dropping it off, and you'll see the work we did in the last video that we showed of the red Mercedes in Cruella. But we are finally picking up another high boy, and this one I'm very excited about because it's the same year as my high boy. And this truck we've been trying to get down to the house for a while, and this thing is the roughest of all of them. And well, let me just show you. All right, so this is Bumpy, another one of Hannah and Colton's high boys. This is a 1970 F-250 high boy. And as you can see, it's had its fair share of trials in life, and we're here to help change that. So I've had a lot of collection of parts for this truck over the past few months, and I have a new front bumper for it, so that's going by. And then I also have a new rear, because this thing is actually, it's a sport custom, so you can't tell, but it has trim on the bottom but not on the top. And so I have a new one of these for it sitting down at the house. We just need to figure out how to yank it off and put the new one on. And then yeah, this truck's seen better days. It's got a gooseneck hitch, so that's cool. It's got a light on the roof, so that's cool. It needs wheels, because those are, Hannah loves Wimbledon white, but I don't think she realizes they're split rims. So I don't know what her plans are for this. I was gonna call her after this and see. Also, hi June, my favorite truck of all time. Freaking love this truck, especially because it's got my steering wheel in it. But so yeah, this one's gonna be quite the doozy. It needs a carb, it needs fuel filters, fuel lines, hopefully wheels, and tires. Bench seat has definitely seen better days. It is just and it needs floors too. This thing has definitely seen better days. So I'm gonna get her yanked out, because I gotta put the crew cab right here. So I'm gonna get it pulled out of here and get the crew cab pulled in here, and we will see you back down at the house. All right, we are back working on Bumpy today. So here's what we kind of got going on. So throttle linkage is adjusted way too far out here, and the spring to return the throttle linkage is shot. So I got a new throttle spring right there. I just need to figure out a way to mount it and go from there. So that shouldn't be too hard, because it's the same one I have on choke roll, so it shouldn't be too hard. And I honestly think the best way of solving the linkage issue will be once we get the new carb here, and so I think that's what we decided, is we're getting a new carb for this. So yeah, so I think the plan right now is to just put that on and go from there and see how this thing, because this thing has really bad throttle return problems. So yeah, because it had that spring on it attached to the fuel line, and that is not an ideal scenario. So yeah, and then I also want to change out that fuel filter right there, because it's just not great. So I'm going to change that out probably once we get a carb on it. But I need to discuss with Hannah about that situation. So I'm gonna get working on this, and I'll let you know when we have some progress. Good morning, everyone. We are back working on Bumpy here. And as you can see, I got this side of the bumper cut off, and that's good. And this side looks like it might actually just break off, honestly. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna heave ho until it finally snaps. But if it doesn't, I need to run down to the shop and get more blades. So I'd much rather go down to the shop and get blades than go buy some, because they're expensive. So, because the plan for today is I need to go pick up another one of the trucks, bring it down here, but the goal is to get the back piece mounted on and maybe even the grill pieces in. Get the grill not as bent as it is now, and get the grill pieces in. So that's the goal for today, hopefully. We'll go from there. So yeah. All right, Bumpy's tailgate piece is on and the bumper's off, so that's good. Now I just need to run to the shop and grab the new front bumper for that, and then I also need to run to the store and grab all the hardwares and fasteners I'll need for those. So yeah, so we're doing good, slowly making our way, and we got to pull this off too, somehow, some way. So, because Hannah does not like this, and I do not blame her one bit. So it is ugly as shit. It's not even hooked up to anything. So yeah. Other things that we have going on Bumpy is this truck's kind of interesting because we're not really doing anything. 1 second. Had to sneeze there. But we're not really doing anything cosmetically, really, because they haven't really decided about this truck. So that's the problem, is stuff has been decided. Like, we're doing this like they're keeping it, but we're also not at the same time, because this truck, well, it's an amazing truck. Don't get me wrong, because there is really, I mean, besides bodywork, and the body really isn't that dented besides the front and rear, but it's really not that bad. And but this truck was supposed to be, so here was the plan originally for this truck. Okay, this truck plan was clear coat it, get their Black Dog Ranch logo put on the doors, and change out the mirrors, and change out the wheels because these are split rim, and then throw new tires on new wheels, and then throw them on the truck, and then, you know, make sure it runs good, fix all the amenities on it, you know, make sure it's good to go. But it seems like, especially lately, Hannah and Colton have gone back and forth about just saying screw it and sell everything, or no, we're keeping it. And so it's kind of like, it's kind of hard, because it's like, do I do this or do I not do this, sort of thing. So yeah, because when it comes to the stuff on the door, we're gonna have Emma come up and do all that, and but it's difficult now. So I don't know what they have planned. I'm just kind of doing, you know, not necessarily the minimum, but I'm kind of just doing enough, if that makes sense, because we don't know what's going to be what. So, and the wheels that are actually going on this truck are actually the wheels off of my Highboy Lightfoot. They're the wheels that were on the two-wheel drive frame of that truck. So those will be going on here. So you guys will get some behind the scenes on that for Lightfoot. But yeah, I think the only things that we have really left to do, I mean, this is a tough scenario because, like I said, because this isn't like Emmy or Tammy where it's like their personal trucks. I mean, it's tough because this was supposed to be one of their personal ones that they were going to keep for, you know, ever. But now it's kind of like, well, because Hannah's idea was to have one of each year, and now it seems like that idea is now dying off. So I don't know. Because how this truck came to be is, so this truck was bought. the same weekend as Emmy and Cruella. You've seen both of those on the channel previously. Emmy is Hannah's 67 F-250 Highboy. Cruella is the 68 two-wheel drive crew cab. And this truck was bought that same weekend. And so, yeah. So, it's funny because I bought Lightfoot from them, and Lightfoot was supposed to be the two-wheel drive to this Highboy. And then I bought Lightfoot to Highboy swap. So now they need another 72-wheel drive to complete the scenario. But now it's like, well, we're now going to flip them. So I'm like, okay. But, I mean, this truck would sell well. I mean, they would definitely be able to make some money off of it. But I don't know. So what we have planned for it is, like I said, I did the back tailgate piece. There's the old one laying down there. Did the back tailgate piece. The new bumper's going on. We have some new grill pieces for it. They're in the back of this, actually. They're right here. New grill pieces for it that are going to go in there. And, yeah, that's pretty much... And then a new radiator, then a new carb. And that's going to be pretty much it for this truck. So it'll be a simple, easy in and out. Oh, and then a bench seat too. They're going to get the bench seat done. So, can you see what I'm saying? Is like, we're doing stuff to it. It's just that, you know, a lot of the main stuff that I was hoping to do is now like up in the air. So, we got to kind of figure that out as we go. And that's fine. So... But yeah, this thing runs really great. It's getting a new chrome front bumper and new grill inserts. So she's just a little baby, but we love her. I love this truck. I really do. And kind of a funny story is, so when the day they bought this truck, I was dropping off Gypsy. Yeah, I was dropping off Gypsy at their cabin and picking up Emmy. Well, Hannah, for that whole day, she was like, Kenner, I have a surprise for you, a surprise for you, a surprise for you. Got you a surprise, yada, yada, yada. Well, you know, all of a sudden I see this thing rolling down the road, and my thought is, oh shit, she bought me a truck, you know. Yeah. And Ashley thought the same thing too. And so we look at each other like, oh my God, no way. But then Hannah's like, I got this for you to work on. And we're like, yay. So, yeah. But she's just a little baby. So, we have a lot of tweaking we got to do now. So, I'm probably going to get in on that and just start tweaking this grill back to being somewhat straighter. So, I'll keep you guys updated on that. All right, everyone. We are back on Bumpy. But we also have something a little special. My favorite truck that Hannah and Colton own, because it's been the nicest to me. And I don't know why. It's just something about it. It's just chef's kiss. And you might know what I'm talking about if you've been watching the videos over the past year or so. And that is Miss June, the 1967 Ford F-250 two-wheel drive that they have. And as you guys have seen, Emmy, their blue Highboy, that's the 67. And if you remember me talking about yesterday how they have a Highboy and a two-wheel drive of each year, this is the two-wheel drive to Emmy, and Emmy is the Highboy to June. June is a 1967 Ford F-250 Camper Special custom cab, and so it's got some nice stuff. And the cool thing about this truck, the last time you seen it on the channel, it had just got done with a photo shoot through Kim Kardashian's brand Skims with Post Malone. So that's cool. And let me turn the camera around and I'll kind of give you a rundown of this truck, and kind of for those who are new here. And by the way, I have a whole series of this truck that I will post down below. and you can see those there. And so let me turn this around and I'll kind of give you a rundown. All right, so this is June. She is a springtime yellow 67 Ford, and we did a clear coat on it. We did a bench seat in. Well, last time it was here, we did a clear coat, and now it's got, well, and I wouldn't say now, but when the first time we had it here, we did the bench seat, floors. We also did the steering wheel. That is the steering wheel out of Showgirl, and so there's that. So yeah, so the plans for this truck this time is the goal is to make this look a little bit nicer and run a little bit better. So I have a new distributor for it. I've got new plug wires. I've got new spark plugs. And hopefully, I'm hoping we can also clean up the engine bay a little bit more and do and paint the valve covers, paint up the accessories, and just make it look a little bit nicer. That is my goal, at least. So whether that happens, we'll see. But the goal is for that to happen. So so yeah, so I just got done driving this truck around to go get parts for it. I've had the distributor and the wires here for, I want to say probably almost 6 months now. So that's that. And by the way, as of filming this video, Showgirl has not been released yet. So yeah, but by the time you are seeing this video, it has been. So you're welcome. So we got some stuff to do on this one, but today we will be doing the bumper on Bumpy and hopefully get this grill bent back up and get the new grill shells back in as well, because I went and got the bumper down at the shop, so I do have that now. Now I just need to pretty much get it on, honestly. So yeah, let me get it out. We see what bolts we need, and I will let you know. All right, Bumpy now has a bumper, so that's good. Just needs to be cleaned up a little bit, which I can do. I actually have cleaning pads now for chrome, and but this truck's kind of rough, so I don't know if I want it to be too shiny, so we'll see. So now I'm going to bend these grill pieces back, at least to a point where I can put the new grill shells in, well, new grill pieces in, and go from there. So I'll let you know when I get everything bent back up. Well, good news is we got this one in, and all 4 screws are bolted in. So technically it's lined up. It's just that don't look too good. But I mean, have you seen the rest of the truck? So I mean, for the truck, it sounds about right. So I think we'll just leave that like that. And the other side's gonna be pretty easy because it's not bent up. So we just need to get that put in. But so yeah, and then we'll have a grill back in a 1970 Highboy. All right, grill pieces are in, as you've seen. And now we're gonna jump from this truck to this one. This one I think has had enough time to cool over. And now I gotta give you the rundown of what we got going on. So what we gotta do is we have to get the air conditioning generator, well, the air compressor off, so we can get down to the distributor. We got to pull pretty much everything off in that case. So this is about to be fun. Let me get everything torn down and I'll show you what we're gonna do. All right, so we got the AC compressor, the fan, and the belt and the pulley for the fan off. So what we got to do now is we got to pop this distributor cap off, and what we got to do is, so I'm going to leave that distributor cap on here, but pull the distributor out, because I want to get the new distributor in and positioned the correct way. And then when I do the plug wires on the new distributor, I can do one at a time and get everything correct. So I'm going to get this yanked out. Hopefully it's not too crazy. Shouldn't be, because the block's still warm. I purposely drove it around so that way everything heats up, so that way it's all loose, so that way I can yank it out. So I'm going to get this yanked out, and then we'll throw the new distributor in, and we'll go from there. All right, vacuumed up, cleaned up, looks much better. The paint is going to wait. So that's going to have to wait, unfortunately. But we'll see. My goal is to at least get the valve covers done, because they deserve to look nice. I will be painting the accessories on the front, so that is a must. But when it comes to the intake, I don't think that's gonna happen. Mostly because Colton is a purist, and he doesn't want to change anything, at least according to Hannah. So, so the plan is to leave it the way it is. Maybe paint the valve covers black again. Maybe do them a custom color that I'm hoping we can do. But if not, we'll figure it out, and we'll go from there. So, yeah. So I'm going to get on with getting the distributor stabbed in and go from there. So, yeah. Well, guys, I caved. You can see the intake is cleaner, because I did this. I was like, well, that actually came out black. So I caved and started cleaning, but I stopped myself, because I'm like, I'm not going to sit here for 2 hours cleaning this thing and getting it perfect when, you know, I could get this truck back to running. So that is pretty much where, you know, I decided to say, screw it. I'm stabbing the distributor in and going from there. So that's what I did. So, yeah. So this is pretty much where I am at now. I made the wire that goes from the coil power to the coil on the cap. So that should be good to go now that it's plugged in. So now all that's left to do is start changing spark plugs and go from there. So yeah. So I'm just gonna do one at a time, get these wires done as well, and yeah. But what time is it? It's close to lunchtime, so I may stop and have lunch. But that is pretty much where this leaves off, is that. So I will let you guys know when we have an update. Oh, I also have battery cables for this truck too, because it needs it really, really bad. So that is the plan there. All right, update. I got the other side done, and well, I got everything on. Went to start the truck, and the solenoid decided it didn't want to play nice anymore. So a new starter solenoid is ordered. Battery cables are on. So now we're pretty much just waiting for that, and then that'll be a tomorrow thing. So this thing should be back up and running tomorrow. So hells yeah. Well, after a starter solenoid, she runs, and really well too. Purrs like a kitten. No misfire, no shake, no nothing. She's a baddie now, so I love it. Well, we are back on June, and from pretty much what I found out is this motor likes to turn over slow, and the carb's shot, and we are doing a new fuel line. So That way it stops vapor locking, because I think the carb is a very big reason behind that. So that's what we are going to do. Is I have a new carb for it. I'm got to get a new fuel line for it, and then we should be good to go there. So especially because we're going from a Motorcraft carb to a Holly carb, so should be a little bit better that way as well. So I'm gonna get this carb pulled off. I'll plop the new one on, and then I'll show you what we got going on. Well, new carb's on, new fuel line is on. I did put some fuel down the bowl of the carb, so we do have fuel in the bowl, so it technically should start. Technically. So we'll see. I'm hoping it does. I did check spark. We do have spark. I adjusted the timing where it needed to be again, so hopefully it just starts up and the battery's full, so everything should be good to go now. So well, that, my laddies, is what I call a success. So now we just need to let it warm up. We'll turn it off, and then we'll start it again. Well, I need to try to do that now while it's cold and go from there, but it seems to be running pretty good. So I think the new carb and line definitely worked. So yeah. Well, June decided it wanted to be a bitch, but now it, for some reason, has decided it wants to be fine now. So yeah, there's that. So it now wants to start and run fine. So I guess we're not gonna do a starter on it, I guess. So yeah. So I was gonna drive it around and see what it does, but I think I'll wait and do that because I have to run to up to the cab and work on the Mercedes. And you guys have seen the Mercedes. Posted about it a couple videos ago. So you'll see that. But yeah. So this thing now runs beautifully. So let me just ta-da. It doesn't like starting, but it does. So that's what I won't understand, is it likes starting, but it does not. It doesn't like to start, but it likes to run. So, and it's not timing related, because this is also an issue before. And now we have good timing, as you see how fast it fires up. And now that we have a good carb on it, good fuel line and everything. So yeah. So I'll give you guys an update once I have one, which I think we're going to be done for the day on June. Well, I'm done for the week on June. So, but we'll get back to you when I have an update, which will probably be on Monday. So yeah. Welcome back, everybody. So I got June started up on Saturday and drove it around, turned the key off, turned it back on, started. Was like, okay, cool, ready to go to the gas station, fill it up. So drove over to the gas station, turned off the key, filled it up, went to turn it on, nothing. It just went rrr, rrr, rrr. So obviously, you know, that's a no-no. So I convinced Hannah to do a starter on it. So we got to yank the old one out and go get the new one and put it in. So when it comes to these starters, they're kind of a pain because they will work with you one way but not in another. So the reason why I say that is because so these starters have 3 bolts. There's 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3 are easy to get out. 1 is not. So it's a really big pain in the ass to do, the top one. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started on it, and I'll let you know when we have a starter that is out. Right, after dealing with the one stupid bolt, that's stupid, starter is out. It's in the truck. I'll show you it over here. It is the original starter. It has the Ford Motorcraft logo on it. Let me see if, yeah. Motorcraft right there. Bingo. So it is the original starter, and it is absolutely disgusting. So the more new parts we put on this, the less grime's gonna fall off this truck. Because as you can tell, just all the dirt that just came out of underneath this truck just from getting the starter out is ridiculous. So, because I was covered in it. So, yeah, this thing was pretty grimy underneath, but it's fine. So, I'm gonna go run, get the new starter, and then I'll come back and throw it in. All right, starter is in. New cable is on. And I'm happy we're doing a new cable, because look at that. Look how fun that looks. And that might have been our big problem all along. So if you look at the top, you're like, oh, that's not too bad. But down at the bottom, where it deals with all the heat and shit, yeah, that don't look too great. So now we just need to jump in the truck and see what it'll do. If it turns over fast, hopefully. But yeah, so we'll see. Fingers crossed. All right, so I got good news. Starter fixed it. Like, watch this. I'm getting ready to wash it. That's why it's pulled forward. But I drove it around. Oh yeah, she's a baddie now. Real baddie with a fatty. So now I just gotta hook up the turn signals again because they weren't wired up correctly. And then we gotta wash this turd. Sorry, I shouldn't call June a turd because June is not a turd. Because get this, that's how the turn signals are wired up. And they were wired up to the 12-volt positive, which means that you could run them all the time, which means that was a parasitic draw. So that's going to change, because that's going to end up going to the ignition side, so that way we can have turn signals when key on only. So, yeah. That's what we are hoping for. So, yeah. I know this video started out as a bumpy video, but it kind of ended a June video. But we got parts coming for Bumpy. That's tomorrow's ordeal, is to get Bumpy all hot and ready. And I need to swap the battery over too. So, because this is my battery. So, this battery that's supposed to go in this is actually in Showgirl currently. So, yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else. I think Shet is it. So, got a lot of stuff to do to get this thing cleaned up and ready to go, but hopefully it's going home today. So, I'm just waiting to hear back from Hannah, because if this thing is going home today, we're picking Emmy back up. So, got stuff to do on there, so we'll have 2 high boys sitting here. It's a rare occasion, for here at least. But, yeah, so I'm gonna get this thing washed up, and then we'll be ready to go here in a few. All right, everyone, we are back working on Bumpy. We got June across the street there. I just finished up on it, and I have decided that we're gonna get the mirrors thrown on Bumpy today. So it would be nice to have some mirrors on it. We have some pretty cool ones, the old school Ford West Coast mirrors. So I'm pretty excited for it. It should be pretty sweet. So I need to get the old ones off, obviously, and then we can figure out how we're gonna get the new ones mounted on. So that's a big wonder. So I'm gonna get the old ones off and we'll go from there. All right, first mirror is mounted, and here's kind of the spiel. So as you notice, there's a lot of holes in these doors from many different mirrors. And there's even a leftover bracket. So what I did, instead of drilling new holes, I just used existing holes from before. And even these ones were existing holes. I just had to get hardware to bolt it onto. So it looks like this truck did have these style mirrors on it once before. And it just fits. Like, it fits this truck so well. I freaking love it. I love the look of these mirrors on this truck. I just love the look of these mirrors in general, because this is the style of mirror that I have on Lightfoot, and it just fits perfectly with the build. So I'm gonna get the other side on and we'll go from there. All right, so we officially have both mirrors on and they are aligned and they look good. I also took off the stupid antenna, so that is done. And like I said before, these mirrors just look really good. I'm really happy that they found a good set to go on this truck, because this is what this truck needed. And the cool thing is about this truck is, you know, it's the same year as mine, so, you know, get to be driving around a 70 highboy with West Coast mirrors. Whether that's my 70 or the 70, you know, it's fine. But this thing really needs a bench seat though, so it isn't really in need of a bench. So I'm going to talk to Hannah about getting that done. So yeah. All right, everyone, we're back working on Bumpy. As you've seen yesterday, we got the mirrors on. Well, today I am draining out the coolant out of the radiator, so that way we can start yanking this radiator out and throwing a new one in. So, and the good thing is we don't got to do hoses because those look new, so we don't got to do those, thankfully. We do got to figure out fuel line stuff, because there is a break in the fuel line, but that will be when we get the carb here, because we are doing a new carb. Obviously, we're doing a nice new Holley 4 barrel rather than this rusty, well, this carb that's full of rust, and it's, you know, an Edelbrock. But we'll keep this one on the shelf for anything else that we need for carb stuff. But yeah, so we're just watching this drain right now, and slowly but surely, so just watching this drain. Hooray. And I'm taking note of the steering box and stuff for Lightfoot, my highboy. So yeah, it's a good time. It's a fun time. So we'll let this drain, and then we'll see what we need to do. But in order to yank this radiator out, we need to do bolt here, bolt there, and then same on the other side, and then hoses, and then we should be good there. So yeah. All right, so I got the radiator out. It's sitting over there looking broken as hell, and now I'm going to pull this carb off, and pretty self-explanatory. If you watch my channel, you probably know how to pull one of these. It's super easy. Undo the choke wire, undo the fuel line, and I think with this we're gonna undo the fuel line like all the way. So just pull this whole metal contraption and rubber contraption out, since we're getting all new stuff anyways, and then you know, linkage, spring, 4 nuts, off. Easy as that. So super easy. Not really going to show it, not really going to go into too much detail about it, but yeah. All right, so we're back on Bumpy. This is going to be a quick one. Seat's coming out. It's official. So thank God. I'm excited. Thank God. So seat is coming out. It's just these 4 bolts here, the same 4 bolts on the other side, and then 4 bolts behind the seat. So should be easy, pretty quick. Just gonna undo those and then yank the seat out. So yeah. All right, everyone. You would think we're working on Bumpy right now, but we are not. We are working on Emmy. We went out and swapped out June for Emmy, and as you've seen, this truck, it's just freaking gorgeous. And I don't think we're going to do a separate video on it, because since we're still waiting for stuff for Bumpy to get here, Bumpy will be another video pretty much. So at this point, this is a June and Emmy video, and then Bumpy's just co-starring. But yeah, so I should have filmed it, but I'm currently doing the tail lights right now. And as you see, this one's just laying here because it wasn't even hooked up to begin with. So I need to do that. This one works. I just need to hook it up. We'll just do a new bulb in it. So I need to wire these up, this back up. So that's the plan there. And then go get new bulbs. I think I'm going to go get new bulbs first. And then wire it back up. Because it wasn't even... And I wish you would have seen it. But on the ground there's a ton of hornet's nest. And I'm not even kidding you when I say that taillight was full of hornet's nests. Like, it was so bad. And I almost got stung too, so that was fun. But now I don't know why this just makes me so happy that I'm doing this. So that I figured that out. So I'm gonna go do that. F350 high output King Ranch I need. But so I'm gonna go get new bulbs, and then wire this up, and we'll be right back. And then also, what we also need to do on this truck is, which will probably be tomorrow's ordeal, is I need to bleed the brakes and get the brake lights working. Like, get actual brake lights working on this truck. So that's the goal, at least. So we'll see. And I also need to get return spring for this because it's really bad. So yeah, I need to do new return spring on this, just like what we did on Bumpy. So so I'll be doing that as well. So I will be back with parts. All right, we are back the next day with Emmy. This is bullshit. That's all I gotta say, because it was 70 and sunny, even 80. And now it's snowing. Bumpy's not happy. Emmy's not happy. I'm not happy. This is bullshit. So I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish the wiring on this. Then move the truck over there. Because I'm fed up with this shit. Alright, everyone. We are back today with old Emmy here. The plan for today, pretty simple. Throttle linkage and bleed the brakes and just make sure everything is mucho bueno on this truck. So that's the plan. It's a little cold. Might go put on a jacket, but yeah. So I'm gonna get this truck moved over to the driveway so I'm not laying down on wet dirt. But we did get the tail lights working yesterday, both of them. So rewired that one and made sure everything works. That way we could get the brake lights working. So we'll go put a jacket on, and then we'll get this thing going. So yeah. All right. After a little while of trying to figure shit out, all springs are off. As you can see, these are shit. And new springs are on. And I think I'm gonna go and just clean off the top of the motor and vacuum it because it looks like ass. And I'd much rather have this thing looking decent. So yeah, I'll get this thing cleaned off and we'll go from there. And then we'll get this truck moved and start doing brake shit on it. So yeah. All right, got it moved over here. God, I forget how high geared this thing is, because it doesn't go fast. Or I guess low geared is what you can say. Low geared. Because this thing is just a dog. For example, Bumpy back there is a 410 and this is a 456. So it is just a dog to drive. So max speed you can get is about 45 out of this. So that's fun. But plan is now is to bleed the brakes and get some fresh fluid in this baddie and see if we can get a good pedal out of it. Hopefully we can get some brake lights out of it too. So I'll let you know how it goes. All right, we're back. I have the new wheel cylinder. Luckily, O'Reilly's had one on the shelf, thank God, which honestly to me is not surprising because the fact that I always order these things. But now we gotta tear this thing apart. So shouldn't be too bad. Looks like someone's been in here once before, so shouldn't be too bad. Just have to, you know, get everything out as it should. So I hate doing rear wheel cylinders on these trucks. Fronts are much easier because, well, depends on who you ask. It's just the rears you have to pretty much pull the whole axle apart and pray to God that it seals back up again. So yeah, but it shouldn't be too bad. I say that now, I shouldn't have probably said that. The hardest part will be pulling the drum off, but we'll go from there. So hooray. All right, the brake wheel cylinder is out, and no fluid came out of that, but there was fluid that came out of the line. As you can see, it's dripping, so that's fun. And you can see these pads are not, like, I just drove this truck and these pads aren't even warm, so I really don't think these are doing anything, so that's fun. I'm also going to adjust it a little bit out so that way we can get a little bit more braking out of this. So I'm going to get the new wheel cylinder thrown in, and I'm going to let you know how that goes. All right, so I'm here testing the brake lights because we have brakes but we don't have lights. And I tested the sensor that's on the pedal, and that is good. Weirdly enough, it is good. Now I need to test the sensor that's underneath the truck, and I looked at it and it looked like it was unplugged. So that could be our issue, but it also looks like some wires got frayed. So I got to figure out if the wiring that was frayed is with this scenario or if it's not. Just got to figure all this out. And I'll show you. So we are looking down there, and as you see, I got my finger pointer. There is a connector right here that should be on here. See it? And that does look frayed off, so we'll have to find, I think that actually is right there. So that might be an easy as that fix. Let me see what all needs to happen in order to make this happen. So, yeah. Good morning, everybody. It is currently 6:03 in the morning. We are down here in St. George. As you see, we got Death Machine down here. And I'm here to remind you that we officially have Death Machine Speed Shop merch. This shirt that I'm wearing is the Death Machine Speed Shop logo with Death Machine on the back. It's personally my favorite one. Between, well, I guess it's only between two shirts right now, but we got this shirt. You're in the YouTube video now. Hi, Mom. But like I was saying, we have merch now. We have the Death Machine shirt, and we got the Showgirl shirt. So if you're interested in one, let me know. We'll get you all worked out. Because the more of that stuff we sell, the better stuff that you'll see on the channel. So, and plus, there is a high boy in the back that we need to start working on. I know. So, well, I'll show you the seat for that. So this is her seat, done by Brett Lyon, who does all the seats. And at least it's in the garage and not sitting in the bed of your truck, because
it went to the car wash too.
Oh my God.
After that, it was back there. It went to the car wash.
I can tell. But so yeah, we're off to a car show over in Hurricane. Today is currently Easter Saturday, so this will be Death Machine's maiden voyage. I know I say that a lot, but this is her actual maiden voyage. It's a drive longer than from the car show to a trailer. So this is a big deal. So should do pretty good. I'm excited. Just don't mind the freaking transmission leak. It it filled almost a whole pan of transmission fluid, so that was fun. So it needs a pan gasket pretty bad, but shouldn't be too bad. We'll get everything sorted out. So, but on that note, thank you guys for watching, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want any merch, comment below. But I'll also leave my email in the bio. So if you want merch, shoot me an email, and we'll get you all taken care of. So, like I said, thank you. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.